Have you ever wondered why you work hard every single day, yet your bank account still runs dry by the end of the month? That's not just your story, it's the pain shared by millions. I'm Jim Rohn, and I need to tell you a truth as sharp as an arrow. Life doesn't pay you for what you wish, it pays you for what you do. There were years when I drifted too, trying to buy comfort to forget responsibility. But eventually I learned this: discipline today or regret tomorrow, you can't escape both. If you're tired of swiping your card to feel better and ending the month heavy with guilt, this video is for you. I won't throw lofty theories at you. I'll share 10 rules that completely transformed my finances and my life, from mastering money instead of being ruled by it, to building daily habits that move you forward 1% every day. You'll walk away with a 7-day plan, deep reflection questions, and real-world examples from AI-powered startups, remote workers, to Gen Z students who build skills instead of scrolling mindlessly. The preliminary solution? Simple yet hard. Put discipline on the table, money under the plan, and time back to its true value. You don't need to be perfect to start, you just need to start to become different. And stay with me until the end, because Rule 7 will show you how to escape the comfort trap, that soft, cozy place quietly draining your future. Rule 1, choose discipline now or pay with regret later. I used to tell myself, I'll do it when I feel motivated. But motivation rarely shows up, while the bills always do. Life quickly taught me this. Discipline isn't optional, it's foundational. If you don't choose discipline today, you'll pay for it with regret tomorrow. And regret always costs far more. Discipline is like an anchor that holds the ship of your life steady. When the storm hits, that anchor keeps you grounded. Ignore it, and even the smallest wave can sweep you miles off course. Why is discipline so crucial? Because every principle of success is built upon it. You can't save money without discipline. You can't build learning habits without discipline. You can't nurture health, relationships, or a career without it. Discipline is the only tax you choose to pay in the short term for long-term freedom. And if you skip that tax, life will collect a much heavier debt, lifelong regret. I've met hundreds of people rich in experience but poor in opportunity, simply because they kept choosing short-term comfort over long-term discipline. I remember a Gen Z student once messaged me, "Mr. Rohn, I want to learn data analytics to get a better job, but every night I end up scrolling TikTok." I told him, "Then swap 30 minutes of scrolling for 30 minutes of studying. Do it for 30 days straight. You won't become an expert overnight, but you'll grow a new muscle, the muscle of discipline." A month later, he wrote back proudly. He had completed a no-code AI course and built his first dashboard. His internship company let him work on a real project. The door didn't open because of luck, it opened because he kept knocking with discipline. In everyday life, discipline lives in the smallest choices. A student replaces an hour of gaming with an hour writing a CV or improving a LinkedIn profile. A remote worker blocks a 90-minute deep work session every morning. No chats, no emails, just pure focus on one meaningful task. A small startup owner dedicates 45 minutes a day to pipeline time, calling 3 old clients and sending 3 follow-up emails instead of waiting for inspiration. These acts are quiet. No one applauds. No one notices. But after months, those quiet repetitions create loud results. Success isn't a sudden explosion, it's the echo of thousands of disciplined decisions. Think of discipline as a muscle. Every time you say no to a small temptation, like buying something on sale just to feel good, or scrolling just to kill time, you're lifting the weight of discipline. It hurts at first, but it gets stronger. And when the storm comes, that strength will protect you. But if you constantly give in, the first real challenge life throws your way will knock you flat. So pause for a moment and ask yourself, will you choose the pain of discipline today or the pain of regret tomorrow? You will face one of them, but you get to choose which one. If you're serious about your life, start tonight. Don't wait for motivation. Don't wait for Monday. Act the moment you hear this. Here's a simple 7-day plan to train your discipline. Day 1, remove 3 distraction apps from your home screen. Day 2, block a 90-minute deep work session and set a Pomodoro timer. Day 3, write down 3 expenses to cut and transfer that money into your freedom fund. Day 4, spend 30 minutes learning a skill that can increase your income. Day 5, challenge yourself not to buy anything impulsively. Apply the 48-hour rule before every purchase. Day 6, write 1 page titled, "Why I Need Discipline," and stick it where you'll see it daily. Day 7, review your week, score yourself, and commit to leveling up next week. Simple yet powerful, and most importantly, it sets in motion the flywheel of discipline. Remember this, discipline is the anchor that keeps your ship steady in the ocean of life. Without it, you drift. With it, you stand firm and wait for the wind of opportunity to set sail. And once you've built discipline, your next mission is to take back the wheel in one of the most sensitive areas of life, money. That's where Rule 2 begins. Take control of money or stay controlled forever. Rule 2, take control of money or stay controlled forever. Have you ever sat at the end of the month, staring at your near-empty bank account, wondering, where did all my money go after working so hard all month? That's not just a random question, it's a wake-up call. Because if you don't control money, money will control you. Rule 2 is as simple as that. Either you are the master or you are the servant. There's no gray area, no exception. Many people comfort themselves with the thought, I'll start managing my money when I earn more. But the truth is, no one becomes wealthy just by earning more. They do so by learning how to keep and use what they already have. I fell into that trap too. When I first started earning, I spent freely, thinking I could make up for it next month. But when opportunity came in investment, a business expansion, a big chance, I realized I had nothing left but empty hands. Freedom doesn't come from a high income, it comes from control. I often tell my students, every dollar you earn is like a soldier. If you leave them scattered, they'll desert you. But if you organize them, they'll become an army stronger, larger, and more powerful over time. One young remote worker once told me how he applied the 3-part rule the moment he got paid. 50% for essentials, 30% for learning and assets, 20% for emergencies. After just 1 year, he paid off all his credit card debt and saved enough to start a small AI project. Power doesn't come from high income, it comes from discipline and control. Be honest with yourself. How many times have you spent money without knowing where it went? Every time you spend without tracking, you're telling your money, go wherever you want. But when you start writing down every expense, even a cup of coffee or a snack, you're sending the opposite message. You report to me, a group of college students once took part in a 30-day expense tracking challenge. At first, they felt annoyed, restricted, even suffocated. But by the end of the month, they were shocked to realize how much they had wasted on meaningless things. One student told me, I just discovered a hidden source of income, the money I used to let slip through my fingers. Today, spending money is terrifyingly easy. A card swipe, a click, a subscription. In seconds, your money leaves you without a trace. So make technology your ally. Use budgeting apps, set spending alerts, and most importantly, ask yourself every time you buy something, does this transaction serve me or am I serving it? If you don't ask, the chains of money will tighten before you even notice. Money is like a wild horse. If you know how to hold the reins, it'll take you far. But if you let go, it'll throw you off and drag you through the dirt. Holding the reins takes patience and practice. But once you master it, you can ride anywhere you want. So ask yourself, today, are you holding the reins or being dragged by the horse? Starting isn't hard. Today, open a notebook and write down every expense you make. Do it for 1 week, and you'll notice the difference. Financial freedom doesn't come from big numbers in your account. It comes from knowing exactly where every dollar goes and what purpose it serves. Once you control your money, you don't just keep it, you multiply it and turn it into a tool for your dream. Remember this, either you control money or money controls you. And once you've gained control, you're ready for the next Rule 1 that teaches you how to use time while others waste it. Rule 3, start building while others waste time. Here's a harsh truth. While most people spend hours every day scrolling through social media, watching short videos, or gossiping about meaningless things, a small few use those same hours to build their future. And a few years later, the gap between them becomes enormous. I've seen people start with nothing but a book, an old laptop, and a few focused hours every night, and they became leaders in their field. Meanwhile, others still sigh, I wish I had their opportunity. But opportunity doesn't just show up. It's built minute by minute by how you use your time each day. I remember my younger years, I was poor, with nothing but my hands and a few dreams. I wasted so many days doing things that led nowhere. Until one day, I heard a quote that hit me hard. If you keep doing what you're doing, you'll keep getting what you're getting. That pierced my heart. I realized if I wanted different results, I had to start building instead of wasting. So I spent countless nights reading, taking notes, learning to communicate, learning to sell. While my friends slept, I was planting seeds, and over time, those seeds bloomed. Today, wasting time is easier than ever. One swipe, and 30 minutes disappear. But if you turn that same half hour into learning a skill, practicing writing, or testing a small business idea, after 1 year, you'll be a completely different person. One Gen Z student I met did exactly that. Instead of binge-watching shows, she spent 1 hour a night learning design on Canva and Figma. 6 months later, she had a portfolio good enough to land freelance work. Within a year, her design income doubled her office salary. The difference wasn't talent, it was how she spent her hours. Imagine this. Every wasted minute is like throwing a coin down the drain, it's gone forever. But every minute invested in building is like depositing a coin into your time bank, it earns interest. One day, you'll look back and realize you've built a fortune from those tiny fragments of time. So ask yourself, are you throwing away or saving your minutes? I often tell my students, don't wait until you have 8 free hours to start. Start with 30 minutes. One young founder took that advice. He still worked full-time, but every night he spent 45 minutes building his own small app. After 1 year, it was complete enough to attract investors. If he had waited for free time, he'd still be dreaming. Because he built while others wasted, he broke through. So ask yourself, how did you spend your evening yesterday? Did you plant seeds for your dream or wrap yourself in short-term comfort? You don't need a full day to change your life. You just need one focused hour repeated long enough to create a miracle. Remember this, time is the only raw material you can never buy more of. Once you waste it, it's gone forever. But when you invest it in building, it pays you back 100-fold. While others waste their hours, you quietly build. And one day, your results will speak louder than words. And once you start building, you'll need a clear blueprint, not just to work hard, but to work smart. That's where Rule 4 comes in. Rule 4, create a simple weekly plan and follow it. One of the biggest mistakes people make is believing that hard work alone leads to success. Let me tell you the truth. Working hard without a plan is like rowing out to sea without a map. You'll sweat, you'll tire, you'll spin in circles, but you'll never reach your destination. Rule 4 is your compass. Create a simple weekly plan and stick to it. Simple but powerful. I remember my early years in business. I worked 16 hours a day, but nothing moved forward. Until one mentor said to me, Jim, stop asking why you're tired. Ask where your plan is. That changed everything. I started writing down 3 main goals each week and 5 key tasks to complete. Every day I focused only on what was already planned, ignoring distractions and randomness. Miraculously, I achieved more with less time and less stress. The plan didn't restrict me, it freed me. Today, when you work remotely or juggle study and work, the temptation to waste time is even stronger. Notifications, emails, social media, invitations, they all pull you off course. But with a clear weekly plan, you know what matters and what can wait. One young woman I mentored followed the 3-3-3 principle. Each week, set tri-major goals. Each day, focus on 3 important tasks. Each night, spend 3 minutes reviewing progress. In just 6 months, she completed a digital skills course, built her portfolio, and landed stable freelance work. Your plan doesn't need to be fancy. You don't need an app or a complex system. A sheet of paper, a notebook, or a Notion board works just fine. The key isn't the tool, it's the habit. Write down what you want to achieve this week and break it into daily steps. A simple plan helps you channel your energy where it matters instead of scattering it aimlessly. Think of your plan as the anchor that keeps you from being swept away by the storm of busyness. So many people say, I'm so busy. But busyness is often just the mask of disorganization. A person who works without a plan is like someone running on a treadmill, sweating hard but going nowhere. A person with a plan walks slowly, but follows a map. Every step brings them closer to their goal. Ask yourself, do you have a clear plan for this week? Do you know your 3 main goals? Or are you just reacting to everyone else's plan? Because if you don't plan your life, you'll end up working inside someone else's plan. Challenge yourself today. Take a blank sheet of paper. Write down the 3 most important things you want to achieve in the next 7 days. Then, each night, list the 3 actions you'll take the next day to move closer to those goals. At the end of the week, review, learn from what you missed, and plan the next cycle. This becomes a loop of growth. and each loop makes you stronger. Remember this, a simple weekly plan can change your life. It's like laying tracks for a train without tracks. The train goes nowhere. With them, every wheel turn takes you closer to your dream. And once you have your plan, it's time to elevate your effort. Don't just work with your hands, start earning with your mind. That's Rule 5. Earn with your brain, not just your hands. Rule 5. Earn with your brain, not just your hands. When I was young, I thought the more hours I worked, the more money I'd make. I believed strength, diligence, and hustle were the keys to wealth. Then one day I looked around and saw people grinding 12 hours a day still struggling, while others made a few smart decisions that created 100 times more value. That's when I understood. You will never become truly wealthy if you rely only on the labor of your hands. Your hands can keep you afloat. If you want to level up, you must learn to use your mind to make money. Look around. A factory worker can work hard all month, yet his income stays capped. Meanwhile, someone who can analyze, strategize, or design a solution that serves many people can earn in 1 hour what manual labor brings in over an entire month. That doesn't mean blue-collar work isn't honorable. It absolutely is, and it built the foundation of our society. But if you want to escape the loop of just getting by, you have to start creating value with your mind. I once met a young man who did daily data entry. His pay covered the basics, but he constantly complained about having no time. I advised him to learn data analytics. His data entry job had already given him exposure to data. At first, he pushed back. "I'm not that smart." I said, "You don't need to be smarter, just more disciplined." 6 months later, he earned a data analytics certificate and doubled his salary. A year later, he went freelance, helping small businesses optimize their processes. What changed wasn't the work of his hands, it was the work of his mind. Today, there are countless ways to use your mind to earn. You can leverage AI tools to create products and services. You can start a content channel, share knowledge, and attract a community. You can learn skills like coding, design, and digital marketing. And the beauty is, you don't have to quit your current job to begin. One focused hour each evening learning a new skill can turn your mind into a long-term money printer. Imagine this. Your hands are like a bicycle. You can pedal forever sweating and straining, but your speed has limits. Your mind is a jet engine. Turn it on and it can take you far beyond any bicycle. So, do you want to keep pedaling down an endless road or invest to start the engine inside you? Ask yourself today, do you earn mainly with your hands or with your mind? If tomorrow you stopped doing manual work, would your income stop instantly? If the answer is yes, it's time to invest seriously in developing your mind. Don't wait for the world to change, it already has. Technology, AI, and automation are steadily replacing manual labor. But the mind creativity, strategic thinking, human connection cannot be easily replaced. The sooner you shift from earning with your hands to earning with your brain, the sooner you'll build freedom. Remember, your hands can buy you a living, but only your mind can build you a future. And once you know how to create value with your mind, you'll learn another crucial rule. Don't just make money, keep it, and protect it with daily choices. That's Rule 6. Keep more money with stronger daily choices. Rule 6. Keep more money with stronger daily choices. What keeps many people poor isn't that they can't make money, it's that they can't keep it. They run hard to bring money in, then let it leak out through small daily choices. By month's end, they wonder, I worked so hard, why is nothing left? Rule 6 is your reminder. Wealth isn't just in big paychecks, it's in making smart daily decisions so you keep more of what you earn. I had a friend who every payday immediately went shopping, dined out, and spent like money could never run out. He thought small amounts didn't matter, that a fancy coffee or a few parties wouldn't make a dent. But when he added it up at year's end, he realized he'd blown a sum that could have funded courses or assets. That taught me a lesson. Tiny decisions determine your financial destiny. Consider a simple example. If you spend $50,000 a day on a meaningless habit, you're out more than $18 million in a year. But if you keep that money and invest it wisely, over the years it can become real capital. Power doesn't come from one grand decision. It comes from thousands of small choices repeated faithfully. Temptation has never been easier. With one swipe on your phone, a few 100,000 are gone. Precisely because it's so easy, you must be strong with each decision. One of my students used a 24-hour pause rule before buying anything non-essential. She cut her monthly spending by nearly 30%. The key isn't one act of restraint, it's repeating strong choices daily until they become instinct. Think of it this way. Every spending choice is a ballot you cast for your future. Every impulse buy is a vote for regret. Every decision to save and invest is a vote for freedom. Imagine waking up each morning and asking, what will I vote for today? A young creative professional told me his story. He earned a decent salary but was always broke by month's end. After adopting a simple rule, diverting 20% of his paycheck into savings, the moment he got paid, he started to feel confident. A year later, that money gave him the courage to quit and start his own business. Wealth doesn't come from jackpots. It comes from small choices repeated every day. Ask yourself, what one small decision can you change today to keep more for yourself? Bring lunch from home instead of eating out. Skip one impulse purchase. Cancel a subscription you don't use. Don't dismiss small actions stacked together. They decide whether you'll be free or not. Remember, the difference between the poor and the wealthy isn't income, it's how they treat small amounts. The poor spend without thinking. The wealthy guard each dollar like a brick for their castle. And once you learn to keep more, you'll discover a deeper lesson. Don't let comfort become the trap that swallows your effort. That's Rule 7. Put a limit on how much comfort you buy. Rule 7. Put a limit on how much comfort you buy. We all have a silent enemy. It isn't poverty or failure, it's comfort. The danger is that comfort doesn't strike like lightning, it seeps in, sweet and sleepy day after day. You buy a softer chair, a fancier meal, a more convenient service, and tell yourself, just a little treat. But slowly you get used to ease and start fearing anything uncomfortable. That's how you lock yourself inside a gilded cage of comfort. I've met many young people with stable jobs and decent pay who never move forward, not because they lack talent, but because they bought too much comfort. They'll pay for anything that numbs short-term discomfort, yet refuse to invest in what would break them out of the loop. The irony, the more comfort they buy, the further they drift from real freedom. Picture two choices after a long day. Flop down and scroll your phone, or get up and learn a new skill. One buys short-term comfort, the other buys long-term freedom. Most people choose comfort. But remember, today's comfort becomes tomorrow's bill. I recall a young entrepreneur who told me, I always chose the easy path, so now I'm stuck in a hard place. It hit like a slap. He had spent heavily on easy pleasures, designer clothes, a financed car, lavish parties. When the big business opportunity appeared, he had no capital, no stamina, no disciplined habits. He learned the hard way. Comfort is never free, it's paid for with dreams. Another Gen Z student chose the opposite path. Instead of buying a flashy new laptop, she kept her old one and spent the money on an online course. Friends mocked her. Why not live comfortably? But a year later, she had enough skills to freelance, earning more than her peers. She didn't choose suffering, she chose freedom. Her friends chose comfort and got stuck. Comfort is like sugar sweet now, harmful later. To stay healthy, you learn to limit it. Likewise, to be wealthy and free, you must cap how much comfort you buy. That doesn't mean forbidding enjoyment. It means knowing the difference between a reasonable reward and a trap. Ask yourself, am I investing in my future today or just buying more comfort? Can I tolerate a little discomfort now to build an easier life later? The truth is, the more discomfort you accept today, the more freedom life pays you tomorrow. Remember, comfort is success's most dangerous enemy. Buy enough to live, not so much that you slowly die inside it. And once you've learned to limit comfort, you'll see the next principle clearly. Every time you swipe your card, you're casting a vote for your future. That's Rule 8. Think before you swipe. Rule 8. Think before you swipe. Have you noticed how just one swipe of your card or a single tap on your phone can send your money away almost without you feeling it? Back when we had to withdraw cash and count each bill, we felt its value. Today, spending is so effortless that we've lost our awareness. And that ease is exactly what drags so many people into debt, not because they don't earn enough, but because they don't pause for a second before spending. Rule 8 is your reminder. Think carefully before you swipe. A friend of mine once lived paycheck to paycheck, sometimes even running negative on his credit card. He couldn't understand why until he started tracking his spending. It turned out the real culprits were tiny transactions. A few coffees, random online buys just for fun, spontaneous trips. Each swipe felt like just a few bucks, he said, but added up, it was a fortune. That's when he realized Freedom doesn't disappear in one big expense. It bleeds out slowly through unconscious swipes. Think of every swipe like casting a ballot, a vote for freedom or a vote for debt. Every impulse buy is a vote for regret. Every time you resist or invest in skills or assets instead, you're voting for freedom. The question is, what are you voting for today? I remember speaking with a group of students. They complained, tuition is so expensive. But when I asked, how much do you spend each month on snacks, coffee, fashion? The numbers were many times higher. I told them, it's not that you don't have money for tuition, you're just voting wrong. One student decided to change. She adopted the 48-hour rule. Anything she wanted to buy, she waited 2 days. If she still needed it, then she bought it. The result? She cut nearly 40% of unnecessary spending and had enough to invest in a design course. 1 year later, she had freelance work exceeding her expectations. We live in a world where ads, discounts, and technology are designed to make you spend unconsciously. The easier the swipe, the more they win. But you can flip the game with one simple act. Pause for 5 seconds and ask, does this purchase serve me, or am I serving a momentary feeling? That 5-second pause can be the fence around your financial garden. Think of your credit card as a sharp knife. In disciplined hands, it's a useful tool. In unconscious hands, it's self-harm. Are you using it to build or to cut yourself? Remember, freedom rarely vanishes in one giant purchase. It drips away, little by little, through unnoticed swipes. Learn to think before you spend, and you'll keep not just your money, but your power over your life. And once you've trained yourself to pause before every swipe, you're ready for the next wake-up call. Don't wait for life to force you to get serious about money now. Rule 9. Get serious about money before life forces you to. Many people only start caring about money after they're in debt, after they lose a job, or when illness strikes. They're forced to change by circumstance, not by choice. But by then it's often too late. Rule 9 says one simple but powerful thing. Get serious about money now before life forces you to. I once met a man in his 40s who admitted that in his youth he ignored saving and financial planning. I thought I was young, strong, and could always earn back whatever I lost. I didn't worry at all, he said. Then, an unexpected illness cost him his job. Debts piled up. His family spiraled into crisis. He sighed. If only I had taken money seriously while I still could. That's the price of delay. Life will teach you the lesson in the harshest way if you don't learn it early. Think about the unexpected situations you've seen around you. Someone loses a job overnight. Someone sells off assets in panic because they lack an emergency fund. Someone abandons their dream because they can't afford to continue. The common thread? They didn't get serious about money until life forced them to. But you don't have to wait for that. You can choose to be serious today. One student told me he thought money management was for grown-ups. But when his parents hit financial trouble, he realized its importance. From that moment, he started tracking expenses, saving part of his side job income, and learning basic investing. Within 2 years, he had enough to cover his own education without fully relying on his family. His takeaway: getting serious early gives you freedom most people only dream about. In our modern world, people say, I'll start when I have more money. The truth is the opposite. You only end up with more money when you start managing even the small amounts. If you don't respect 100,000 B, you'll never keep 10 million. If you can't manage 1 month's salary, you won't manage 10. Seriousness isn't about how much you have, it's about the attitude you choose. Picture it like building a flood wall. You start with a few bricks, which seem insignificant. But done consistently, when the flood comes, that wall saves you. Do nothing. And when the water rises, you're swept away. The question is, do you want to build your wall first or regret later? Ask yourself, am I truly serious about money yet? Or am I just drifting day to day? Start today with one small action. Open an emergency fund, save a portion of your income, or invest in a new skill. These small steps are the marks of someone serious about their future. Remember, you can learn this lesson proactively or let life teach it brutally. Getting serious now is the vaccine against crisis later. And once you're serious, you'll realize a final truth. It's never too late to start again. That's Rule 10. Stop calling it too late and start now. Rule, stop calling it too late and start now. One of the most dangerous lies people whisper to themselves is, It's too late. Too late to change. Too late to start. Too late to rebuild. The moment you believe that lie, you slam the door on every opportunity. But the truth is, it's never too late. Too late is just an excuse to keep procrastinating. Life always opens the door to those who step forward, whether you're 20 or 60. I met a woman in her 50s who had worked ordinary jobs her whole life with little savings. She sighed, "Jim, I wish I'd known these things when I was young. Now it's too late." I looked her in the eye and said, "Later than yesterday, but earlier than tomorrow. Start today." She did. She began cutting small expenses, saving and investing in a sales course. Within 3 years, she became one of the top salespeople in her company. If she'd believed it was too late, she'd still be stuck. But because she acted, 3 years later, she was transformed. I also knew a young man drowning in debt. He thought his life was ruined. But instead of giving up, he started paying off debt bit by bit, managing his spending and learning new skills. 5 years later, he was debt-free and owned a small business. He told me, "If I'd believed it was too late back then, today I'd have nothing but debt." His story proves too late is just a mental trap. Time will pass whether you act or not. 5 years from now will arrive regardless. The question is, what will those 5 years bring you? If you start today, 5 years from now, you'll thank yourself. If you do nothing, 5 years from now, you'll regret it even more. Time doesn't ask if you're ready, it just flows. But you decide what you plant in its flow. Think of a seed. Whether you plant it today or tomorrow, it can sprout if nurtured. But if you keep saying too late and never plant it, you'll never have a tree. If you plant today, you'll have a tree tomorrow and a forest in years to come. Too late exists only in your mind, not in reality. Ask yourself, what have you been delaying because you think it's too late? Write it down right now. Then take one small action to start. Send an email asking for advice, read one chapter of a book, enroll in a course, or simply open a notebook and map out your finances. You don't need to change the world in a day, just begin. Remember, never let too late chain you. Turn it into right now, because right now is the only time you truly own. And when you start now, life will open more doors than you ever imagined. So we've journeyed through all 10 rules. Each rule isn't just an idea, it's a choice you can make today. Choose discipline over regret. Choose to master money instead of being mastered by it. Choose building over wasting. Choose mind over hands. Choose keeping over bleeding out. Choose limiting comfort. Thinking before you swipe. Getting serious before being forced. And most importantly, choose to start now. If these principles resonate with you, leave a comment. What action will you take today to begin? I'd love to hear your answer. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the Jim Rohn Treasures channel so others can benefit too. Remember the line I always carry. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. Discipline is the bridge from your dreams to your achievements, and you can start building it today.